So, you're supposed to meet your friend at 4 p.m. for a very, very important conversation. And now it's 20 minutes past 4. He's not there yet. So, is your friend trustworthy? Is not showing up but by 4:20 increases credibility or decreases credibility? Well, you know something? It depends. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to build trust and how to increase credibility so that you can have more meaningful, more fruitful, and more harmonious relationships. My name is Olivia Pinto. I help freedom seekers create abundance and harmony while living the life you truly desire. So if you are a freedom seeker and you wish to have access to valuable information, tips, and tools to create a life of abundance and harmony, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you'll get notified every time I post a new video for you. So let's look at two scenarios. In scenario A, your friend is not showing up until 4:20 and you don't know what is happening. You're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting, and he's not there, and you keep watching the clock. He's not there, he's not there, he's not there. So tell me something. What kind of thoughts are going on in your mind? What kind of emotions? Are you worried? Are you concerned that maybe something happened? Are you angry that he's not on time? Are you frustrated, or you don't care and you just do your own thing? What is going on inside you while you wait and your friend is not there and not arriving at the time that you agreed upon? In scenario B, it's 5 minutes before 4. 5 minutes before the time that you agreed to meet, and you receive a phone call from your friend, and your friend is telling you, oh my God, you won't believe it. I'm so close, but I'm stuck. There was something happened. I don't know if it's an accident or whatever, but we are just stuck in traffic. I am so sorry. I'm going to be late, and I don't know how long it will take me, but as soon as I can, I'll get there. Okay? I'm really, really sorry about that. So now you're waiting for 3:55 or a little bit before 4, and you know that your friend is going to be late. You don't know how long for, but you know why, and you know that he's going to be late. So what is going on there? Do you have the same thoughts, the same emotions as in scenario A? Well, obviously, your whole experience is very different between scenario A and scenario B, isn't it? So the fact is that in both scenarios, your friend was 20 minutes late. So is there a difference, and what is the difference? Well, although the difference can seem very, very small and maybe not so significant, at the end of the day, you met your friend at 4:20. What's the big deal? Well, there is a huge difference between the two. You know why? Because the way you do anything is the way you do everything. What do I mean by that? The very big difference between scenario A, where your friend just showed up at 4:20, and scenario B, where your friend called you and told you that he will be late, the difference can be summed up in one little word. And that word is extremely significant and makes the whole difference. Can you guess what that word is? Well, that word is integrity. To me, integrity means to be honest and to have strong moral principles. Okay? So it's a combination of being honest and having high moral principles. So let's look at that a little bit more deeply. So why is integrity so important? You see, what happens is that when you lead your life with integrity, then not only you feel better, not only you are better, a better human being, a better version, a higher, an upgraded version of yourself, but you're also perceived by other people as being a such person. So let's look at it for a moment, and we'll see, first of all, that integrity is not like, oh, what shall I do now? Shall I act in integrity or not? It's not a responsive or reactive way of living. It's actually a state of mind. It's a decision to handle ourselves a certain way. It's a decision to embody the values that we appreciate, that we believe in, that we resonate with in a very certain way. For me, it's the translation of our values in our behavior, whether it's things that we say, whether it's things that we do, whether it's the example that we give. It's really the translation of our values in day-to-day activities. And it's with the small things as much as with the big things, because as we said, the way we do anything is the way we do everything. So let's look at what happens to a person that acts in integrity. First of all, it's much easier to communicate because you're much clearer on what you want. Everything that you do and say is really backed up by your values. It creates credibility. It makes you very accountable. When you say something, you're going to keep your word. So people see you as someone extremely accountable. You become obviously much more honest. You're not afraid to hear the truth. You're not afraid to face the truth. You're not afraid to handle anything that is said to you, whether it's comfortable, uncomfortable. You just face truth the way it is in the moment. People trust you more easily. So that is why people will start sharing with you their things and their most intimate and personal information. That's why you're going to be considered by people like their advisor, because they know that they can get an advice from you and they will hear the truth. They will know that they can trust you and you'll tell them what's really best for them, which obviously creates healthier dynamics, healthier relationships. It prevents or avoids or minimizes unnecessary drama. All those useless thoughts that are running in our mind that are not practical in any way, and they're just there spending and wasting our time, actually. Or emotional charges and different emotions that are really more self-destructive than promoting us in any way. They don't support us, like guilt and shame and things like that. And so it takes away a lot of the drama, and you just face a situation, look at what's going on, know how to handle it, and move on to the next situation. So I'm not saying it could sound like life is very dry, but it's actually not, because you're much more in touch with life as it is. You're much more in touch with the present moment. You're not in touch with the unnecessary drama out there that keeps you detached from life itself. And therefore, it not only frees a lot of time in your mind, emotional time. It's like it helps you throw a lot of garbage out of the system, so you have more clear. It's like a room that, instead of being with so many things in it and it's so messy and dirty and so many unnecessary things, you cannot find anything. All of a sudden it's very neat, it's very clean, it's very comfortable, it's very harmonious, and it then frees a lot of your time to actually focus on the right things. So it increases your focus as well, and you can see a wider perspective more easily. And the other thing is that when you live in integrity, when you lead your life with integrity, you become more easily a finisher. Now, I didn't know until a few days ago that this word exists. And actually, I don't know if it's a formal legal word in the English language, but I just heard it a few days ago and I love it. To be a finisher, because you cannot win a race unless you finish it, right? You have to finish. If you want to achieve anything, you have to finish what you started in order to achieve it. And of course, if you are in integrity, it's much easier to finish things. It's much harder to finish things when you're not in integrity, and when you procrastinate, and when you go into the drama, and when you spend so much time in your thoughts and the stories and the gossip and this and that. Okay, so this is just a very small list of why integrity is so valuable and so important. So now that we understood what it is and why it's so important, let's look at how we can really make sure that we act in integrity and that we lead our life with integrity. So the how is actually very, very simple to apply. But first, I would like you to visualize three different circles. The first circle represents what you think, okay? So that the thoughts are usually between you and yourself. Okay, maybe there is a telepathic. Maybe there is a telepathic person that knows your thoughts, but in general, thoughts are between you and yourself. Okay, that's the very first circle, and the second circle represents what you say. Okay, so what you say is a higher level of commitment because if you say to yourself, let's say that I think something and then I stand in front of the mirror and I say it out loud, it's a higher level of commitment. Now I already produced the sound. I heard it. I didn't just think it. I involved more muscles and more intention and more senses, and I committed at a higher level than just the thought. Okay. And it can also be between me and other people. So there's a difference between if I tell my friend, hey, I'm going to help you. If I say it in my mind, circle number one, yeah, I'm going to help you, but I don't verbalize it. I don't vocalize it. I don't make a sound, or I don't write it down, or I don't pass it on to the person. I don't use the word in written or verbal form. The person will not know. So it remains an intention. It remains a thought between me and myself. Whereas once I say it, that is already a higher level of commitment between me and the other person or the other people. And by the way, this is where a lot of people fall as far as integrity is concerned, fail as far as integrity is concerned, because they say something and they don't really do it. They don't keep up with their word. So they say, I'll come and visit you, and they don't. I'll send you something, and they don't. I'll do this, and they don't. So that is the gap between what you say and what you do is really, really, really where people fall. And that leads us to the third circle. And the third circle represents our actions. Obviously, the third circle represents what we do. Okay? So three circles: what I think, what I say, and what I do. And so to me, integrity is not the circles on their own, but it's the relationship of those circles. You see, maybe what I say and what I think, what I do, maybe they're not in alignment. Maybe they're all flowing in their own space and their own speed and their own location and whatever, and they're not really meeting each other. So if there is a lack of harmony, a lack of dissonance, a lack of alignment between the three, then I will be out of integrity. But once those three come together to create one large circle that includes equally the three, the what I think, what I say, and what I do, and it includes the three of them in harmony and not floating all over the place, that's when I am in integrity. And obviously, it has to be related to higher values, because I can think and say and do some things that are immoral and that are criminal by law, or they are unethical and so on. So you could say, according to your definition, I'm in integrity because what I think and what I said and what I did were in total alignment. Okay. And I have examples from the history, World War II, that comes to mind right now, and other things. So yeah, there is a difference between the dry definition and linking it to values. Okay, so it has to be an alignment between what you think, what you say, and what you do. But underneath all this, the foundation has to be an honest foundation of high values. So let's go back to our example at the beginning, scenario A and scenario B. What's the big difference there? In both cases, your friend came 20 minutes late, right? But in the first case, he said he will come at 4. he did not show up at 4. So there was a misalignment between what he said and what he did, and that put him out of integrity. Whereas in case B, the person called you to let you know that there is a problem and he's going to be late. So actually, he rewrote the agreement, so to speak, because it's like a contract where he changed what he said in order for what he says and what he does to be in alignment. So that's why I said the difference seems very, very little, but it's a huge difference, because in scenario A, the person did not act with integrity, and in scenario B, the person did act in integrity. And that makes a whole difference. So does that mean that if you say something, you have to do it no matter what? Well, no. You see, the thing is, here, the guy in scenario B wanted to be there at 4, but he couldn't make it. So life happens, we say something out of good intentions because we really mean it and we believe we can do it and all that. And then we face reality, and sometimes circumstances kick in, and sometimes unexpected things that we're not in control of are happening, and it's changing the scenario. So there's nothing wrong with it, and that does not put us out of integrity. But it's how we respond to that will determine whether we act in integrity or not. Because if I said something and then circumstances kick in and I cannot keep my word, then in order to remain in integrity, I have to change what I said. Like in the example, just pick up the phone and say that you're going to be late. You have to do something to say something different so that there is an alignment between what you say and what you do. And obviously, this is external, right? But there is also the internal, the alignment between what you think and what you say. So if someone calls me and say, hey, Olivia, I want to come over and have a cup of coffee with you. Is that okay with you? And in my mind, I say, oh, no, not right now, not right now. And I say, yeah, sure. So obviously there is a lack of alignment here, right? So I'm not in integrity. And he may not know, because maybe I said, yeah, sure, with a lot of enthusiasm on the phone. But, and maybe that friend is not as sensitive to pick up the energy behind this. Yeah, sure. But I know that I'm not in integrity. So the thing is not to be only perceived by others, but to know, remember, honesty, it's about self-honesty to start with. First and foremost, let's be honest with ourselves. So how to apply integrity, how to exercise integrity, how to strengthen the integrity muscle? Just become aware, verify. It's like observe yourself. What you think, what you say, what you do, observe to check, really visualize those 3 circles running around space, rolling around, and make sure that they are in alignment. And if they're not in alignment, what can I do? Ask yourself, what can I do in order to make them aligned into one big circle that includes the 3? Maybe it's saying something different. Maybe it's changing the agreement I did with someone. Maybe it's extending the time, whatever it is, but be conscious of those 3 circles and do whatever it takes to align them so that you are in integrity. And the more you practice this and the more you are in integrity, you will see that you naturally build the trust and you become more trustworthy, and people want to share with you more, and people want to ask you more things, and people will want to be closer to you, and they will feel uplifted when they spend time with you, because you will increase your credibility, because you will be more respected by others, even though you do it first and foremost for yourself, but it does have this impact on other people. So the way I see it is that being trustworthy and being credible is actually a byproduct of integrity. Okay? It goes together. They're all cousins, but it's a byproduct of integrity. Now, since we're talking today about integrity, I created for you a free resource that includes 10 steps to master integrity. Those 10 steps can be done one after the other in sequence, or you can pick just one step and practice that particular step. So it's completely up to you. Choose whichever one feels more comfortable with initially, and apply it. If you want to apply all of them at once, then just go one by one by one by one. So you can pick it up for free over on my blog at oliviapinto.com/14. And once you're on my blog, you will see under this video a green button, a large green button. When you click on it, it will give you access to receive the free download with the 10 steps to master integrity. Here's a question for you. What do you do in order to lead a life of integrity? Please write in the comment section below what you do. I would love to know how you keep yourself integral. If you like this video and you feel it added some value to you, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends wherever they are in the world, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. So until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao!